Shalom. All praise is due to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Chodash. Give honors to the elect, apostle, bishop, elders at Great Millstone, at Ruel. Shalom to like Aki out there doing this work in sincerity and truth and not for vainglory in season out of season. Shalom to the men, women, sons, and daughters of the elect of the nation of Israel, which are the men, women, sons, and daughters of the elect of so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, West Indian Haitians, Seminole Indians, scattered through the four corners of the earth. Okay, so this is Ecclesiasticus and the Apocrypha, 25th chapter and the 7th verse. It says, there be nine things which I have judged in mine heart and is mine, to be happy. And the 10th I will utter with my tongue, a man that hath joy of his children. Yeah, so, now we happy to be called into this word, into this ministry, into this truth of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Okay? All right? But everything else is what? Suffering. Because we can't have joy of our own children. Okay? We can't. You have to send your sons and daughters to Esau's school system. Who's Esau? Esau is the so-called white man. And if you don't, then you have to pay the consequences. And if you don't, then you got to go through a whole lot of changes, a whole lot of hell for homeschooling. When our sons and daughters are born, they want to immunize them. They want to give them. They have to go through the immunization process of putting the weakened form of the diseases, or the diseases, as soon as your son and daughter is born. Then they get a cold, or they'll get sick, or they're born sick, You know what I'm saying? Then you have the what do you call it? The child support system set up by the so-called white man. You get with a woman. I'm talking about you so-called blacks, West Indian Haitians, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians. You get with any of those women, they're not happy no more, right? They want to leave you. They take the kid. Now you got to go to court, family court, to fight to get your sons and daughters to have visitation rights when they came from your body. But in the kingdom, we're going to have joy of our sons and daughters. Okay? Our children. Okay? Because the so-called white man is not going to be able to step in and tell you a goddamn thing about what you should do with your kids and teach them his philosophy in the so-called white man schools and give them immunizations. And the so-called black, West Indian Haitian, Latino, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian woman is going to be under your authority and under your rulership. She's going to be subject unto you. Okay? All right? And she's going to be righteous. And she's going to be completely obedient unto her man. And first and foremost, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, the Lord's statute commandments, and under her man. Okay? All right? And then we can have joy about children. Okay? Because the so-called white man is not going to be able to step in and tell you a goddamn thing. He's going to be in slavery. All right? Under who? Under Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, and the nation of Israel. Okay? And the men of the nation of Israel. It says, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. That's a joyful thing, man. That's a thing to make your heart happy, which is your mind. Okay? Okay? And he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. Okay? So the elect of the nation of Israel, which are the elect of you so-called Negroes, West Indian Haitians, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, the elect of you, which is the elect of the nation of Israel, you're going to see the fall of your enemy. Okay? And our main enemy right now is the so-called white man. That's our main enemy. Now, we have our other enemies, the heathen nations, the Chinese, the Japanese, the Arabs, so forth. And we have another enemy. You know, the so-called black woman. Okay? She's another one of our main enemies. And she's going to fall too in this society, man. Here in America. Okay? Over there in Europe. You know? She's going to fall too. Why? Because of her pride against her own man. I'm not talking about the elect ladies. I'm not talking about the few sisters who listen to the apostles, bishops, elders, brothers of Great Millstone. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about 2/3 of you so-called black women, West Indian women, Haitian women, Native American women, Hispanic women, Latino women, Seminole Indian women. Okay? All right? You know? So the elect is going to live to see the fall of the so-called white man and the heathen nations, and 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, West Indian Haitians, Latinos, and Hispanics, and Native Americans. Okay? And that's happiness. That is happiness, man. You know, like Pharrell made that song talking about because he's happy. He's happy about what? Selling out to so-called white man, selling his soul to the spiritual demon Satan to get fame and money. Okay? All right? The happiness is to see the fall of your enemy. Okay? And the so-called white man is one of our main enemies. I was just watching something about the Monsanto company about the Roundup spray to kill weeds and how they put deadly chemicals in there. Okay? And it causes all kind of cancers and so forth. Okay? All right? He's doing this on purpose to poison you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Okay? All right? And he's doing it to his own people too, but we don't care about what's happening with the wicked elite is doing to his own so-called white people. And we don't even care what he's doing to you so-called 2/3 of you Negroes, Latinos, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans either. We care about the elect of the nation of Israel, man. Okay? All right? But that's happiness, man. All right? That's a part of being happy. Okay? To see the fall of your enemy. Okay? That's what's going to make us, that's one of the things that's going to make us happy. Being delivered, oh, well, that's going to be beyond happiness. That's going to be super happiness. Okay? All right? And seeing America be destroyed by those nuclear missiles and the multiple warheads that's in them nuclear missiles, first and foremost, Yahweh Shai coming back to deliver his elect. All right? And shoot lasers out of those chariots that the so-called white man calls UFOs here on America as well. Okay? So yeah, man, so that's true happiness, man. That's one part of true happiness. All right? The fall, living to see the fall of your enemy. Okay? So I hope you've been edified. Shalom.